All right, y'all, welcome back to Dinner on the Grounds. This is a much requested video. It's how to get rid of Bermuda grass in St. Augustine grass, and you could also title this how to get rid of Bermuda grass in zoysia grass because it's the exact same mix. I've actually done a previous video to this that we'll link below, as well as a blog post below that gives you all the details you're gonna need. Any questions you have are gonna be answered in that video and that blog post. This is a follow-up to that one. Just so you guys know, I did get great results the first time. I just did it at the wrong time of year in the fall, and so I'll explain all that a little bit later. But for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray a different part of the lawn, and the key to know is we're doing this in the spring when my grass is already starting to grow fast. And that's the key. We need the grass to be actively growing, and I mean actively growing, because these herbicides will stunt the growth. All right, with that, we got our first herbicide here. It is called Recognition, and this is just a sample bottle. I'll put on the screen what the real bottle looks like. People ask where to get this. Just Google it. Google's a very good resource for that. That is how you'll know where to get this. It's pretty much sold out everywhere, mostly because of DIYers, I promise you. But anyway, that's our first one, Recognition, and then our second one is Fusilade. That's the second one that we're gonna use. That's a liquid. I'm also gonna be putting in a surfactant, which is a sticker. And then just before that though, I'm actually gonna spike it with some Halosulfuron. This is generic sedge hammer because I have sedges. And then lastly, I'm gonna put in a little 700 green effect, which has some foliar absorbed nitrogen and iron. And this is again to kick off that growth even better because of the stunting that the chemicals do. You wanna include a little bit of nitrogen. Even the label recommends that. So that's what we're dealing with today. Let's get everything in our tank and let's get to spraying and praying. All right, y'all, so today I'm gonna be doing a 3-gallon fill. So I'm gonna be giving you the rates per 1,000 square feet, and then I'll be giving you my fill rate, which is I'm gonna be putting 3 gallons of spray mix into my 4-gallon sprayer, and I'm gonna be covering 3,000 square feet of area. So first thing we're gonna do is put in our Recognition. All right, now we're in the cooking show angle. So the rate here for the Recognition is 0.85 grams per 1,000. You gotta weigh this out. And that means 2.55 grams for my 3-gallon fill. I'm trying to film a YouTube video here, bro. I need 2.55 grams, or 2.6 grams. Got my magic tuna can on there. So I'm just gonna pour this in there. See what, whoa, all right. That was a little fast. Gotta learn not to blow my load so fast. Let's get some out of there. All right, look at that, 2.5. You could hover, this one doesn't, I thought this scale went to the 100ths, but I can't get it to do that right now. But 2.5, 2.6, good enough, and that is in grams. If you wanna see how powerful this product is, there it is in the magic tuna can. That little bit right there will kill all the Bermuda in 3,000 square feet. Just think about that. That is some potent stuff. So that's gonna go into our sprayer. All right, now I've already got about 1 gallon of water in here. You always wanna have some water in your sprayer first. Open this up, dump it in there. And I'm gonna do quick agitation. Some people get all crazy and they buy drill bits and all kinds of crazy stuff, but I just use the old bicep power. I'm good at that motion. You can see that shaking bacon right there. Lots of practice, no need for a drill bit. All right, next is Fusilade 2, and this is a liquid concentrate, so the rates are expressed in volume, and the rate is 0.55 ounces per 1,000. We're doing 3,000 square feet, so we need 1.65 ounces. It's not very much. So let me get down here, right there, 1.65. Very little bit. Glug, glug, glug. A little over. Okay, we're good to go. One thing I'll say about this Fusilade, those of you that used to walk into your granddad's shed and smell the chems in there, you know that smell? That's got this. This has got it, so. Anyway, put that in there. Oh yeah, granddad's shed, relived. Okay, now we're gonna agitate again. All right, next, we're gonna put in our Halo. Okay, this is Halo. This is generic sedge hammer. We have this on the website. Comes with a handy dandy scoop. It's 1 level scoop is 1,000 square feet of coverage. So pretty simple here. That's why it's called a spike. Just spike it in. Because this really only has one purpose, and that is nut sedge, or in my case, kyllinga, which is a sedge. That's it. So it's a spike for a single purpose. So the label encourages you to put a little nitrogen down at the same time. I got some liquid nitrogen right here with iron. The 700 green effect looks like ecto cooler. Got 8 ounces per 1,000 is our rate here, so we need 24 ounces because we're doing 3,000 square feet. Almost there. Those of you that like, I mean, I like this too because it's gonna turn my grass super green at the same time, but it's really because I want it to stimulate growth. But for those of you that like to search for liquid iron products, I encourage you to give this a try. It's got a little nitrogen too. It'll give you a much bigger kick than iron alone. The other good news about this product is it doesn't need to be watered in. It's foliar absorbed, so you don't have to water it in. That's why it can be mixed perfectly with these herbicides. You just spray it on and let it sit, and it does its thing. Shaky shake. All right, next is surfactant, which is a sticker, and I'll give you a link below to all this stuff. This is 1 ounce per gallon, so we need 3 ounces. And what this does is it just helps everything to stick better, breaks the surface tension of water so that you get better coverage on the leaves, because Bermuda is a thin-leafed grass, so we need as much help as we can get, and the surfactant will help do that by breaking that surface tension on the water. Now we're gonna go ahead and shake, add the rest of our water, and then we're gonna go spray and pray. I'm using the fan tip nozzle because I wanna get really good coverage with that smaller medium droplet size, and that's gonna mean I need to walk quite a bit slower though, so it's gonna be a nice even pace and get everything wet.
3 weeks later.
All right, y'all, it's been 3 weeks since I applied the Recognition Fusilade, and I guess a couple things I'll update you on. The first thing is when I applied this in the fall, the biggest thing I saw was major stunting of growth to my grass. I have not seen that this time. It's pretty much growing the same as it normally is, and that's because I added some nitrogen right along with it, which is what they recommend on the label, as well as I applied at a time when the lawn was growing fast naturally. When I did it in the fall, the grass was on its way out, and so all I did was slow it down into dormancy quicker. With this spring application, I have not seen the slow growth, so that's a good thing. However, I'm not really seeing that greater results here at that 22-day mark. So the biggest thing I'm noticing is I have very little control. Now, it has only been 3 weeks. I need to wait another week. But what I think is happening is my St. Augustine grass that's existing here is already incredibly thick. And then the Bermuda grass is just kind of tufted in between. And I believe when I sprayed, I had to let this grow out for so long, according to the label, that the St. Augustine grass literally blocked the product from hitting the Bermuda, and that's why I'm not seeing a lot of control. Now, that's my thought, that's my guess. We'll give it another week and we'll see. But right now, the results are extremely minimal at the 3-week mark. All right, so see, as you get down in here, there is some dead Bermuda grass in here, quite a bit. But there's also a lot that's still green and living. See right there, a lot of green still on that. Now we got to give it another week, you know, but then over here, I can pick and I can find some that's dead. So it's definitely working, but I just don't know if I got good coverage. Now, if you come over here, you'll actually be able to see some almost dead, pretty much dead alligator weed. That's what this is right here. So it does kill other weeds there, but as I go in here, again, I can go down deep beneath the St. Augustine grass, and what will I have is more green Bermuda grass along with some dead Bermuda grass. So we got to give it another week, but I really think that my thick St. Augustine might have blocked a lot of the results that I could be getting.
3 weeks later.
All right, y'all, well, here we are for the follow-up. So like is with a lot of things when you kill weeds, we've waited now, I think it's been over a month. We'll put how long ago it is on the screen. I actually can't find any Bermuda here. So it's not really a dramatic ending. There was Bermuda here when we sprayed. There was a little bit here when we did the update a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and now it's just completely gone. It's a little different than when we did the section right here, where this section was literally 100% Bermuda grass right here, which you can see all the St. Augustine is now grown back in. This was 100% Bermuda grass, so when we killed it, it showed. You could see it was all dead there. But here, because the Bermuda was kind of just spread throughout, there was a couple thick pockets in here, but because it was just spread throughout, now it's just gone. So does the combination of the Fusilade and the Recognition work? Yes, it does. The other thing I noticed here in the spring is I didn't get the stunting of growth. Because the St. Augustine was vigorous already and I'm pushing it with nitrogen, I had absolutely no change in growth, at least none that I could notice. So that is the case. So my final verdict here is yes, it works. And secondly, if you're gonna do it in the spring when your warm season grass is naturally growing fast. And number 3, push with nitrogen to push yourself through. And yes, it does work. So that's the final verdict there. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below and I'll see you in the lawn. All right, y'all, I wanted to break in here real quick at the end because if you remember, I did do a spike of the Halosulfuron for the kyllinga sedges that I'm having to deal with. So very much the same way as with the Bermuda, I get down in here into areas where I had a whole lot of kyllinga before and I just cannot find any anywhere. it's just gone. And we've talked about that before with Halosulfuron. It works extremely slow, a good 30, 35 days, and you don't really see a lot of curling and twisting like you might expect with burn down products. Instead, it's a slow kill all the way down to the nutlets. And the same thing will happen for you. You'll just come out one day and all of a sudden it'll just be all gone, and then you know it worked. All right, y'all, that's all I got for you. Let me know below if you've tried this mix and if it's worked for you at your house and what results or things you might have done different or better. But either way, the verdict is this total mix here does really well, and a lot of y'all with Florida lawns are facing these exact same problems. So once again, create a discussion, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the lawn.